once again. This is Dr. Bill Bailey, and this is VirtZine. VirtZine, of course, is the online magazine of virtualization and cloud computing. And those are two topics that are near and dear to my heart as a cloud computing and virtualization engineer. I tell you what, I enjoy all of what's happening in that particular arena, and that's why we share it with you here on the VirtZine Netcast. Now, let's, by the way, we are proud members of the Tech Podcast Network, techpodcast.com. If it is tech, let me tell you, it's right here on the VirtZine Netcast. Just about to forget that. I don't want to forget that because it's important that you know that we are members of the Tech Podcast Network and that we strongly endorse all the great information that you can get on techpodcast.com. All right, let's look at a couple of things here. And then I want to talk about something that I went to recently that I think is going to be really interesting for you. First of all, in the news, Wowza Media Systems has acquired Camfoo. Now, if you haven't heard of Camfoo, they are a cloud computing-based encoding company. And Wowza Media Systems is something I'm very familiar with because I've looked into it as a method of encoding and transmitting video, just like this netcast that I'm doing right now. This particular netcast is done in a manner called VOD, sometimes called vodcasting, which is video on demand. Okay, VOD, video on demand. Wowza Media Systems has the ability through their server to actually stream the video, just bits at a time down the wire, so to speak, of the internet and stream it live. So it's like watching TV. It's pretty much, well, even Netflix, come to think of it, is video on demand because you go there to watch a show or a movie or whatever and you access it when you want it. But video streaming is more like a live event is occurring and you can tap into it and watch that live event. But if you miss the live event, you've missed it. Unless they have a recording of it, and then you can go get it on demand, and that would be video on demand. So, that's the distinction. All right, so Wowza Media Systems is an open source media streaming platform provider, and they have purchased Camfoo. Now, here's what the article says about that. Popular streaming media content server company Wowza Media Systems is acquiring German-based cloud encoding company Camfoo, according to a Wowza source. The deal was finalized today in Amsterdam at the annual IBC Broadcast and Digital Media Trade Show. Camfoo is Wowza's first acquisition since the company was founded in 2005. That's pretty neat in and of itself. It shows that Wowza is growing and they're starting to acquire other companies. Pretty impressive for an open source company here. Wowza products have been used by Camfoo for several years, said David Stubvold, co-founder and CEO of Wowza. Combining Camfoo with our technology will provide customers with the simplest and most robust way to manage cloud streaming. Sounds pretty exciting. So I want to see how they implement the Camfoo technology into the product of Wowza Media Server. It's something that I've looked at. I'm still kind of on the edge as to whether I want to go with live streaming for this show or other shows like this. The video on demand, I think, just seems to be a better paradigm, at least for this particular kind of show, where you can access it anytime you want to. You don't have to wait for a particular time, like, say, 10 o'clock on a Friday or something, to watch it. So you can watch it anytime you want to at your convenience. Now, you lose some of that live element. I understand that. But still, I think that this format probably works better, at least for me. My opinion. By the way, if you have an opinion on that, I'd encourage you to let me know. You can write me at drbill@virtzine.com, DRBILL at VIRTZINE.com, as it says there on the screen. And I'd love to hear from you as to whether you think a live program might be beneficial to this particular netcast. Now, let me share with you what I had in mind just as a personal observation. I went to a demonstration by Varrow. Varrow is a local provider of a lot of different technologies to a lot of different areas of business. For instance, I work at a local hospital, and we have used Varrow as a consulting company to come in and help us with things like Citrix and VMware and installing UCS equipment. They are vendors and suppliers of Cisco UCS server blades and so forth. A really neat company. I know a lot of the people that are in Varrow and can really highly recommend them as a company and their expertise. But at any rate, myself and a colleague at work, Mario Menendez, we went to a demonstration and discussion that Varrow had in Greensboro, North Carolina. And it was about what VMware, well, two things actually. It was about what VMware shared at their recent conference, which of course is, they have a big yearly conference of all the VMware technologies and so forth, and they basically share new things that they're coming out with. And one of the things that they shared was their direction into becoming a cloud computing provider. They already offer their hypervisor, which is vSphere, and a lot of cloud providers have built on that technology, but now they're actually providing their own cloud services. And Varrow has connected with them to, you might say, sell and also advise their customers on this cloud computing platform. And part of what the presentation included was a discussion of the fact that when virtualization at the hypervisor level first began, the whole concept was to virtualize servers. You have host computers, and then you have guest systems that are running on top of that host on the hypervisor. And the hypervisors work at what we call the bare metal level. That's the underlying installed system. But then it provides a platform, a virtual platform, for you to install guest systems, whether they be Linux or Windows or whatever types of systems that you want to run, and you can have full-blown machines. Now, VMware, have pioneered that hypervisor virtualization of servers. And we're very familiar with that. That goes way, way back. I've been working with VMware since version 2. I go back that far with VMware. And of course 2 and then 3 and then 4, and now we're up to 5, and 5.5 has just been released. So we're a little ways down the road, and we're pretty used to the idea of servers being virtualized. Well, now they have virtualized the networking. As of VMware 5, they introduced the distributed switch, where they started virtualizing the network layer. So we virtualized the server layer, then we virtualized the network layer. Now they're virtualizing the storage layer, and they introduced some technologies around, you might say, vCenter storage virtualization. The idea there being, wherever you have a system that has a hard drive available attached to that system, VMware can attach, if you will, to that drive and make it part of a virtual SAN. Okay, a virtual storage area network that you manage just like you would a regular SAN, and it becomes a fully virtualized storage environment. So now we've got a virtualized server, a virtualized network, and virtualized storage. Nothing is there, you know what I'm saying? Now obviously it has to be installed on something physical, but the idea here is that VMware has provided or is providing a data center in Virginia and another data center for the West Coast over in Las Vegas. And between those two data centers, which they're building out to be highly, highly, highly redundant, they're going to offer essentially as product SKUs. SKUs, SKUs, those are the reference numbers for products. So just like they would offer a regular product, or a company would offer a server as a commodity item, so to speak, that you could sell, they're going to offer SKUs of virtual servers that you can purchase or lease, depending on how you look at it, and set up in their cloud and not even have anything physically local other than a connection to the internet. That's pretty cool. But it also changes the way we view ourselves as server engineers. Now, I'm a server engineer. I work with the hardware, put it all together, the networking, bring everything together and make all this work at a local institution. All right? Well, now, once this catches on and once this becomes the standard operating procedure for companies, for large businesses, people like me will be working. I mean, literally, I could work from home. I could work right here from home, connect in, and manage all of this in the cloud without physically ever touching a box. That's pretty wild to think about. And my mind, as I was watching the presentation, I thought to myself, this is another one. You know what I meant by that? I've got well over 30 plus years of experience as a professional computer server administrator and now engineer. And over that time, I've seen paradigm shifts. I saw a paradigm shift from mainframes and mini computers like the VAX, which, the first VAX that I worked on ran VAX VMS operating system. We had, cathode ray terminals, just regular old terminals, and a keyboard and a green screen, and that's how we connected to the VAX, and that's how we did our computing, and that was my world, okay? Then we got away from mainframes and mini computers, okay, that took up whole rooms, and we started having local PCs, personal computers, and there was a paradigm shift. You could feel the earth moving and shifting under your feet as things changed to the PC. And then it was a matter of taking those PCs and putting them together and connecting them into networks. And then you had network mail and network file services and all of these different things that came together to make up the business environment. I saw that change. I saw that shift. Okay? Then I saw Citrix and virtualization of the application and VMware and virtualization of the server. So we virtualized the client end of computing and we virtualized the server end of computing, and now we're managing an environment where everything's virtualized. VDI virtualizes the desktop, servers get virtualized on the back end. Well, that was another paradigm shift, another shifting of the environment. Now, as I was listening to this presentation, I felt that shifting again. Because now we're getting rid of all the things that you touch as a server administrator, and literally you're truly manipulating information in the cloud. And I thought to myself, this is the very essence of VirtZine. This is what I want to talk about on the next netcast, is this paradigm shift and how it will ultimately affect us as server engineers. If you are a server engineer, and I know a lot of you are that watch this particular netcast, it's kind of a niche netcast. Those of you that are in the same line of work as I am, how does that make you feel? Do you feel like you're becoming obsolete? Outmoded? I don't personally think so, because I think they're always going to need people that understand the how does it work. Okay? And that's why these paradigm shifts have never fazed me. They've never bothered me. I always look at them as exciting opportunities. I don't look at them as a negative, oh no, what am I going to do? No, I look at them as an exciting opportunity, a new thing to learn and grab a hold of, research and development to get involved in, and become the expert of that particular new paradigm shift. That's what I'm excited about. That's what rings my bell. You know what I'm saying? So I encourage you to embrace the change. Don't be, the old term Luddite. A Luddite is somebody that just wants everything to remain the same. Don't change anything. There was a book a long time ago, Who Moved My Cheese? And the author was getting across the idea that people just get so rigid in their idea, this is the way it's got to be. And if you move their cheese a little bit, they freak out. Well, don't do that. Don't worry about who moved your cheese. Move some cheese yourself. Go with the flow. Embrace the new technology. It's going to be an exciting time ahead. And I know I got a little gray in the beard here, but I don't have an old fogey look at technology. I like to be right on the cutting edge. So I encourage you, embrace the new technology. Get excited about VMware's vCloud offerings and look at what that means for you as an organization. How will it help you save money? How will it help you consolidate? How will it help you as you bring in new companies into your organization and consolidate your data centers? How's this going to help? Start thinking in those terms, and you will find that this is a great time to be a server engineer. It sure is for me. I really enjoy all the changes that are occurring right now. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you as kind of a personal insight to some of the things that are happening. Join us again next time. Remember, until then, to keep your head in the cloud.